Welcome back, everybody. It's a BullShooter Europe 2025 XXXI. We're excited to be back here for more coverage of our great European finals. I'm looking forward to it. This is the King Seat match in the Pro Doubles 01 bracket. And I'm looking forward to seeing some familiar faces and some new faces, although everyone in this matchup is a little bit familiar. This is Daniel Zapata at the line. And last year, definitely made a name for himself in my own headspace when I saw him take ton plus checkout after ton plus checkout. Of course, Decker and Johansson, some of our other European contingent here. It should be a good Spain-Netherlands matchup. I'm looking forward to seeing every bit of this one, as it should be fun. This is Ari Manny at the line. The format today is going to be a best of 5 on the winner's side, double in, double out, split bowl for our pro bracket, and freeze rule is enabled. So these games can be quite the battle. Be sure to strap in, folks. Let's have a good time watching some great darts. I know we had a lot of fun yesterday, and a lot of you guys tuning in, giving support to these players, and I love seeing every bit of that. Solid 100 on the turn and leave 302. So well out in front for Core. There, a little case of the neighbors on the last dart. The trip one doesn't have to cost too much. Not in range to set up, so team going first has advantage, but you have to get in, which is happening right here, and it's going to be a good one. Look at that, making up for lost time immediately with the 146 in. Romani here, you're going to have to just try to focus on bringing down the score line, getting back into range. Trying to help out the partner a little bit. Zapata not on a setup range. 302 can't get brought down. 418s and a trip 20 leaves you the 170. Does go for the 18s. Made it hard to find the triple though. Can you sneak in under that dart? Can. Now to the trip 20 to leave the 170. Doesn't quite get it, but that was a shot that we saw a lot of times on our last invitational shootout that aired. As we saw Randy Fern not opt for that route, and a couple times left a bogey. Did have the right shot attempt and still is well out in front. Good shot there from Decker. Johansson stepping up to the line now. Going to continue to just pile on that pressure, play for that freeze, stay in front of the opponents. Let us know who you're cheering for and who you want to see today on the live stream. We got our pro King Seat match here right now. Then we're going to finish out with the remainder of the loser side of the bracket and the finals of this bracket. We might try to get, depending on timing, the Masters finals as well. We'll take a brief intermission, and then we'll be back for the Nations Cup, the national team event, excuse me, as it is so exciting to be able to see all these different players. Look at this, off to the races. Tried to tee up 36, still leaves himself at 72. Good shot there. Nice 137 there. Does help the cause a little bit, but unfortunately not on a finish. The 259 leaves a finish and basically locks in this first leg. Can't leave a finish now, but we'll still stay out in front. And no matter what, the freeze is going to be coming into play here pretty quickly. Becker and Johansson looking very strong in this first leg, but it's a best of 5, and the Spaniards are against the darts. So got to give him some credit, as that is a big 180, and he does do a little celebration with it. It leaves an outside opportunity. Yeah, 72 has to miss, and 198 needs to get brought down, but there is a chance. 20 for tops. Double tops for Core Decker. Does nail it there. Game number 1 going to Decker and Johansson. Armani and Zapata, though, no alarm bells yet. They were against the darts in that first leg. It's all about setting the right precedent here in leg number 2, showing that you were just getting warmed up and you're ready to take advantage of the throw. Gets in immediately, finds a trip 20, nails a 120 in. You'll take that all day and every day. Your goal is 80 plus on your in if it's a double in format. Try to just find any double that'll get you in there, whichever one you prefer. And then from there, try to find at least one good trip. If you can do that, you're going to be doing great. But even a double and two good fallouts is fine. Monty here, trying to get in as well. First one wasn't close to the double. Does correct well. Johansson here, gonna have to just continue to follow the trend. A double and some good singles. Switch all the way down to the 19. I'm curious a little bit about that. You found the double 20. I think you could have rode up there and tried to play for the 160, but an N is an N regardless, and it's a 116, so it's a good N at that. Zapata's still leading the pack with this 120. How can he follow it up here? He's going to follow it up quite nicely. Finds a 125 to back it up. Definitely more momentum from the Spaniards than we saw in the previous leg. A good 140 right back. Decker and Johansson staying sticky in this one. Want to make sure your opponents never feel too comfortable when you have a freeze rule format. Oh, and does correct well on the last. A little sketchy there for a second. Still 90 points on the turn. Not a bad round, as it does still keep you up in range. But Zapata here should be able to be the first one out of finish. Needs a good dart on this last, though. And that one doesn't leave a finish. So here's an opening. Decker and Johansson have opportunities to leave finishes now. And if you're the first one out of finish in this format, it can be brutal. It won't happen here for Decker. Reagan in here saying, let's go, Core Decker. You have a favorite in every country, don't you, Reagan? It is impressive. Can't leave a fish in this position. Just going to be on support duty. Still a great 140. But this is a big shot here for Johansson. If you can leave a finish, it would be massive pressure. First one's good. Oh, it needs to stay true. Doesn't quite get there. So now the Spaniards, all is forgiven. And you can take advantage of that going first position. Attack, attack, attack. Bring it on down. Single 13 and leave tops. Perfect setup there from Daniel Zapata. Now it's just about piling on pressure. Potentially forcing a freeze is going to be right here. Had to slow himself down. Wanted to bring it all the way down, but no one likes double three. I don't like that last start, though. You're setting up a 0% chance to freeze. If Armani misses the shot here and leaves it high, you just gave it an easier time here. Armani needs to find two trebles. But it might be forgiven. It very well may be forgiven. Needs to get to 63 or less. 140 freezes. Needs to find a trip 20. Doesn't find the trip 20. So Daniel's about to make this one apiece here in this King Seat matchup. Uh-oh. You see the crowd reaction. The lady sitting up front, hands on the forehead. Can't believe this opening. Wow, that's actually an insane play. Plays for the freeze there and stopped himself from shooting at the double five. Means 36 can't go, and 100 will have an opportunity. Some smart play there from Daniel Zapata. 57. Double top. Taking a moment. Stepped off the line. Needs to execute the double. Does get it there. Oh, points to the audience. There's a little bit of sauce on this matchup here. Playing with the fans and having a good time. It's 1-1 in this matchup. Oh, and staying on that 18, despite that first start being a little bit awkward, especially when you're taller. When you have a dart over top like that, it can be much more of a blocker than if you're more Zapata sized, if you will. But there you go. Finding no trouble there. 160 on the end for Daniel Zapata. Andrew, Reagan, Ole, Dion, Lionel, Danny, and everyone else sitting in. Thank you all for watching along. Thank you for sitting down and supporting these great players, putting on a great performance here in this King C matchup. Bright and early 9 a.m. start here for us over in Florida and the East Coast of the U.S. You'll hear me come to life more when we get to that Nations event later on today. Rough start time around 1:30 Eastern, I believe, is what we were kind of looking for on that one. Oh, Decker does find a 140. Armani hit the only 180 of this matchup so far, and that was in leg number 1, a losing effort in that leg. Just 3 big singles, 59 points on the turn there. Gives up a little bit of ground, despite having the perfect in. Chuck saying, watching from Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. There you go. Just got some Floridians in the chat here and people into Florida. Love to see it. 3 in the bed on the wrong number, and it plays the animation anyways just to make sure you really feel silly. Unfortunate moment there in this leg. Decker, another trip really hurts. Does find it. It's 185. Meaning that right now Daniel's feeling like he has to hit a 140 or more. He has to leave a finish. Can still leave a finish. Oh, but catches the wrong side of the wire. Daniel was trying his best to try to take over this leg, and Armani doing good job supporting overall, but this is a big moment. Johansson finds a 135. Pressure still continues on, though. Another good shot incoming. Oh, it looked like it was going to be the second 180 for Armani, but does not collect. Unfortunate deflection on the last dart. Gore Decker needs to leave a good finish here. Especially with this partner at 282. Might not even get a look. You have to still play in case you do. 140 to leave 45 is solid. If you're Daniel, you're thinking, man, a 180 to leave 16 would be bangarang. Gonna have to settle for 56. This is a big moment, though, because if you don't hit a 180 here for Johansson, there's a good chance that the 45 never gets a shot in this leg. And that's just simply not going to suffice. 1 of 41, so you need to get to 140 or less right now if you want to freeze Decker and Johansson. Important turn for Armani. One trip does it. That gets the freeze, and you can kind of see the relief from the audience. They put their hands back down, try to act like they've been calm and collected this whole time. I love when the Spaniards are at the line, though. They look so stressed. So you're just going to get down to 4. You're looking for 41 points on this turn. No reason to go all the way down to 2. Double 11 to leave 4. Wise darts. 16 for double top should be the shot here. That's a 2-1 lead now for the Spaniards. 2 on the spin. Decker and Johansson going to need to get themselves out of this situation. Johansson feeling frustrated, knowing that he was the one that froze. You can't think about that for too long, or else you're going to be just completely stuck in your woes. You got to just play the board, get in there, and shoot well. Linus Wallet in the chat saying, good morning, everyone. Shoot well today. Linus, hey, great to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. 1 of 5-6 on the opening there for Decker. Oh, and Johansson's struggles continue. Fails to get in. Gonna put a lot of pressure on Decker, knowing that he had a big opening. Oh, and Armani kind of giving it some stuff after the first dart. Still got to hit the other 2. Maybe it worked. Look, he is amping himself up right now. Pulls that last start just a little bit, but 103 in puts a lot of pressure. Knowing that Johansson's not in, Decker knows he has to sprint. He already hit a 156. He's going to back it with a potential 140. Yes, he is. Zapata, who did the bare minimum of just getting in, now needs to put a little bit of pressure. Play for the freeze. Get a big scoring round in here. Make sure that even if a perfect in is hit by Johansson, it won't feel like enough. And finds a 180 there. Second one of this matchup, both hit by the Spaniards. And this is a big moment because now you can start really playing for the freeze. 398, you need at least 100 on this turn to make this an eligible play. $81 isn't a lot in the sense that, like, right now you expect Decker to go ahead and be able to leave a finish this turn. You have to play for the freeze, knowing that they'll otherwise Decker and Johansson will get the first look. 65, it's a 140, so has gone 156, 140, 140. Great there from Decker. Oh, and they're letting off the gas at the wrong point. Needs at least another trip 20. 198. So now this is a big moment here. If 403 gets brought down and you hit 100 or more, freeze potentially goes out of play. Oh, but this is a little tragic. 133, 130. Yeah, it needs to get to 130 or less, so no freeze in play. So Decker will get a shot. It might be his only shot, especially given this position. 25 double top, more likely the route. Oh, 13 for Bull. This got harder. Oh, and he's not even going to get a shot. Can't even believe it. And that might be all she wrote for this matchup here in this King Seat Pro doubles match. It all comes down to some errant darts at the very end. Now you're just playing to make sure the 40 gets frozen. Set yourself up along the way. Solid 100 there, continues the pressure. More than likely, the 40 is frozen from this position. Yeah, and that will do it. It's the Spaniards' game to lose and the Spaniards' match to lose now. That pesky freeze rule. That's a great shot there. 160 points combined. Needs to hit 36. Should be the shot. He chose to take it out while frozen. He said, I'm going to end it myself. Daniel walking up to the board, not realizing it's over. Looks like Decker decided it was. That's a 3-1 win there for Armani and Zapata, depriving them of the pleasure of taking out the games themselves, forcing the win one way or another. But hey, you know what it was still some great play by the Spaniards there on the freeze play. And fortunately, those last few legs there for Johansson just kind of getting away from him just a little bit. Incredible stuff from the Spaniards as they are now your seat holders, and Thor and Core will have to fight their way back on the loser side of the bracket. Taking a look at that bracket real quick. Let's go ahead and see what's going on that side of the affair. Looks like we have some good stuff coming up here. Currently, right now, waiting on the results of this 5th-6 match. That 5th-6 match is going to be Juan Luis Lopez that we saw yesterday and Smarlin, who are playing together. Currently taking on Rune and Vibjorn, excuse me. And then we will be getting that 4th place, 3rd place, and finals. Currently waiting that 4th place matches Martin Hirsch and Roger Hertig. And then again, they'll be getting the winner of that 5th-6 match right there. So that will be our next one on the stream. Don't go far, folks. My name is Nick Teixeira, bringing coverage here of BullShooter Europe 2025. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to our continued coverage here of BullShooter Year of 2025. This is our Pro Doubles 01 bracket fourth place matchup. We got Martinez Carrasas and Lopez Palacio taking on Hershey and Hertig in this matchup. But I'm looking forward to seeing this one to see who moves on to that third place match to play Johansson and Decker. Of course, who gets to go on to play Zapata and Armani in the finals. It should be a good one. I'm Nick Show, your host and your commentator for this one. Leave a comment. Let us know who you're cheering for and who you got. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing you guys coverage of this BullShooter European event. XXXI, 31 years. Love it. See some initial troubles there for Lopez Palacio. So he was the only one not able to get in, but nobody else to the races yet. So a good in here can make up all the difference that you need. Right on the wire. Does finally stack that dart into place. Finds a trip on the last. Helps out the cause a little bit here. But now Hershey and Hertig have an opportunity to really start taking advantage of the situation. It's only a best of three on the loser side of the bracket, so every dart matters so much more. That's a good 140 there. Smarlin at the line. What will he do? Gonna try to back up and hit a 140 of his own. Maybe even more. That's a dead center dart. The last one pulls to the right just a little bit, and you can kind of always see that with his follow through. We saw that a little bit yesterday, where sometimes he's falling through directly at his target, and sometimes you can see his arm kind of pulls to the side at the very end of that follow through. Good marker right underneath the bed, but overcorrection makes this last dart harder. Still is able to get it in probably the hardest spot of that segment to find it in. Lopez going to continue to try to pile on the pressure in this moment. Finds a trip 20. Finds another trip 20. And trip one on the last, but a 1, 2, 3 nonetheless, making up for the fact that he struggled on his end. But the throw has been taken here. Hershey and Hertig trying to get to that first look at a finish. Staying out in front, finds 100 on the score. Smarlin going to have to try to hit a good supporting shot here. Needs to try to find for 10 plus. Otherwise, it's going to start feeling like it's slipping. There you can see that last dart on that follow through. Definitely focused on accentuating it forward rather than kind of pulling it to the side. Hits a 140. Good shot. Just the 60 on that. So let off now. Still anybody's game. Who's going to be the first one out of finish? Palacio here trying to be the first one out of finish. Is going to be a first one out of finish despite being the only one not able to get in. So great recovery and standard from him despite that situation. Again, this is the get to the third place match. You're deep in the bracket at this point. You know that you have a chance to be the winning team. You still got to carve out that destiny. And will be under pressure. Finds a leave at 66. A great shot there. The 66 might be on for the freeze. A lot of pressure with it being back at 274. The other team's already had a combined 144. Meaning even if you hit a 140, it's not going to feel like enough. A 180 is kind of the minimum on this turn. 66 more likely won't even get a shot now. 138 just needs to get brought down. Doesn't even need to get taken. Well, this is a little risky. Big last start, though. Leaves 150 combined. So 66 cannot go. It was a needed last start trip and a found last start trip. You can see the indecision. He did not have a game plan heading into line here. Shouldn't matter since it's part on to finish how low he brought it. So inconsequential, but you can tell the frustrations in that moment. 106 gets an opportunity to get checked. Treble 18 for double 16. Now we go back to the 20 to leave 8s. Tempted to. Kicked under that dart, a little awkward. A little bit unfortunate there. But neither opponent from Spain here on a one dart finish show you this 174. You need to bring it down to an out that you feel like you can check. Hope you get an opportunity to do so. Of course, you can also unfreeze the 8 by hitting a perfect turn here. Another trip guarantees the 8 will be unfrozen. Like, I'm staying trip 20 right now. I want to find this trip 20 more than I care about setting up. He did agree with that, but kicks the wrong side. And now the 8 is going to be frozen. 91 will have to get checked if an opportunity is given, but 44 will have a chance first. 18 for double 13. It was an accident, but can it be a happy accident? It cannot. Did he catch that dart in the air? Oh, I don't know if he did. The lowest you need to bring this down to is 4. Any lower, if you bring it down to 2, it's kind of pointless unless you really want to shoot the double 1. He agrees. And that's just because your opponents, if they're on 2 and 2, the 4 can't freeze anyway. So 4 is the lowest it could possibly be. That is helpful. 2 doesn't make a difference. Double 16 needed for Smarlin. Doesn't get it quite yet. So this was the outside chance. 91 has that opportunity. This was the best case scenario. That was some missed starts at doubles. In fact, that was 4 missed starts at doubles for leg number 1, 2 and 2. 51. Now you can't. You have to find a treble for double 7-inch. All right. Not the triple I would have expected on that dart. Should have been 42 to leave 32. But it doesn't matter if you hit the double. They steal the leg right back. Hershey and Hertig put a little bit of despair in the hearts of Martinez, Carrasas, and Lopez Palacio. That's going to be one of those legs that either fires you up and you pummel in this next one, or you crumble because of the pressure that just came onto you. No struggles in the end for the A score line so far. Folks at home, hope you're enjoying the coverage of BullShooter Europe. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. I know a little early here for some of our North American friends. Maybe people starting off their workday. For European friends, right in the mid-afternoon. That's a good shot in. 1-5-2. Finds everything he was aiming at in that turn. Smarlin is snarling and smiling. Aim for the double 7. You just hit it. And does find the double 16 on the last. Finds 59 points on the turn. So still a little bit of a slow start. Smarlin did hit that big end though, which should be the saving grace since he's going to be leading the effort in this second leg. Can he continue to pile on the pressure? Seems like he's finding some really good form. We saw him last night in the finals of the pro cricket singles. Here finds a 140, looking really strong in this leg. Juan going first is just going to be in the supporting role now. All he has to do is make sure not to freeze Marlin. That's all you got to do with almost 180 points separating the two of them already. A good 140 right back. Hershey and Hertig trying their best to stay in this leg. They would rather get a 2-0 win than a last leg decider. Because who wouldn't? Broke a tip right into that triple. There's a little bit of a highlight marker on it now. Smarlin to leave the first finish of the second leg. Yeah, I don't like the position that it's very awkward. Doesn't leave it finished. An absolute blunder. Because now you're giving the other team an opportunity. 329 gets a chance to leave a finish, and if not, then you can leave it to your partner. This is a little bit risky after doing all the effort to get out in front. To find 26 in that turn is going to be a little bit heartbreaking. Oh, and that's a good start to the campaign here. This could still be a bailout. Needs to find a trip. Doesn't hit it. This is an opportunity. 215 could be the first one at a finish. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Another trip 20 is massive. Leaves the Shanghai, so still an achievable finish. Now, does the freeze come into play? That is going to be the next question on the mind. Good shot there from Smarlin. Makes this a must-need max here. Or else the freeze is going to be back into play once again for Hershey and Hertig. Freeze will be on. Freeze is guaranteed to be on. Can't even bust 182. Sitting in 97, 120 now, does not get a shot. Best thing he can do is bring it all the way down. And a good shot there does bring it all the way down. 116, that's a little frustrating because he hit a single, a triple, and a double. That's what you need for a Shanghai 120. There shouldn't be too much thinking here. Don't know what the reaction is back there. Looks like Hershey and Hertig had some thoughts on the pause there, or maybe the math. I'm not sure what that was. Communicating the strategy here on the doubling. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. It's leave a preferred double and hit it. Getting some antics, it looks like a little bit there. Gets all the way down to 4. 209 needs to get brought down to a finish. It's going to be even harder. Last time you needed 4 missed darts. Now you're asking for potentially 5 missed darts. It only leaves a 128, so it's a harder finish at that compared to the 91 he hit last time. 97 gets a shot here for Martinez Caceres, excuse me. But it doesn't go. Gonna hit the button for 4. Gotta survive 3 more darts at double if you want to get a shot to 128. If not, we're going to a last leg decider. We're going to a last leg decider. Here we go, folks. Who do you have? Who are you cheering for? This diddle is important. Hershey and Heretic have been going second this whole match. They want him to go first in the leg that matters most, the Centennial leg. Oh, no, it does look like Smarlin got that there. Yeah, he did. Here we go. Last leg decider. Martinez Caceres and Lopez Palacio going up against Hershey and Hertig in this matchup, folks. This is to get to the 3rd place match in this pro doubles bracket. $80 on the end. Nothing fancy, nothing bad. Good, solid shot. Uh-oh, this is some trouble. Does get it on the last start, but that's bare minimum on the turn. Marlin punish. That's a beautiful double 16 right in the center. Still looking for that trip. Not that one, though, but still 67 on the end. Solid effort. This has been where the question mark has been. A good 100 there. Martinez Caceres happy with that position. Still getting chased down, but the favor is not in favor of Hershey and Hertig in this moment. You can kind of just see off the body language a little bit too. Lopez Palacio finds a good 140. Wanted more. Oh, look at that. There's a huge 180 in this moment. It gives a little bit of hope still to Hershey and Hertig. 180 to leave 141 is the shot. What a shot it would be. Hits it to leave the 141. A max pressure shot. You can see Smarlin get amped up seeing his partner do that. The question mark is shifted. A scoreline's all out of whack. The 180 that they hit first might be for naught. 294 now gets to continue to be attacked. Freeze already going to be coming into play now, potentially. Last start there already freezes the 268, even though it's not even on a finish. and a 135 to follow the 180. Yeah, a little bit of a heartbreaker here, kind of getting built up. Everyone knows 141. Out to the 19. Oh, he shifted over the 17 there. This is why you go the 9 darter route. It's so much more fun that way. Yeah, this is going really well for the Spaniards in this moment. Hershey and Heretic having absolute despair in this moment. They fought and stole leg number 1. They froze and fought in leg number 2. They barely missed on the diddle. And now in this leg, this last leg decider to move to the 3rd place match, it seems to be favoring this gentleman right here as he hits it. Look at that reaction. They will move on to the 3rd place match. Hershey and Heretic get left down here to the 4th place position, and they are a little fired up over there. Hershey and Heretic seems like they really won that win. They're quick to get out of the player's box there. But now we'll be quick to bring you that next match over here in just a moment's time, folks. My name's XXXI. Stay here for the 3rd place match coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody, to your continued coverage here of the BullShooter Europe XXXI European Finals. My name is XXXI, bringing you coverage of this great matchup here in the third place position of our doubles 01 bracket. I'm looking forward to seeing these players duke it out, as we just saw a very intense fourth place match, very intense king seat, and I assume the intensity will stay on here. So let's know, who are you cheering for? Who do you got in this one? Is it the team from Norway, Decker and Johansson, or is it going to be Martinez, Careses, or Lopez Palacio in this matchup? My name's XXXI. I'll be hosting along, mispronouncing names and having a lot of fun. Sit back, relax, and let's have a good time watching darts. Smarlin here, going to be the last one to try to get in. Everyone got in successfully with varying degrees of success. He will get underneath that dirt on the second. Finds a trip on the last, so a little bit of favor gained for the Spaniards, but the Norway team can still fight just fine. Another solid 100 continues to pile on the pressure from the going first position. Martinez, Caceres gonna have to just try to bring things down into position. A good trip on the last. Make sure to keep things chalk on the going first score line. Johansson was the X factor. He ended up unfortunately causing some serious freezing issues in that seat matchup. Let's see if he spent his break well. Seems like he did. Finds a 180. Smarlin's going to need to make sure to hit at least 100 to keep himself within range now. Good pressure shot there, especially because they're going first. And there you see some separation start to break, so now you're going to advantage the Norse team early here. Juan Lopez, if he leaves a finish, would have been very interesting. Does do so. Leaves the 161, which means it's going to be kind of hard to freeze the 354 if it hits 100. This is an interesting moment. Johansson, can he follow with another big shot? He can. Svarlin needs to find minimum 100, but realistically a 140 here to have a realistic chance of not freezing the 161 for an outside opportunity. Big 140 is found. That means that right now, Decker needs to get to 49 would be the shot. He couldn't do so there. So 161 gets an opportunity and only left himself at 170. This would be massive if this goes. 51. For the bull, 161. This gets out there. Oh my goodness. Juan Lopez Martinez Caceres hits a massive checkout, punishes the Norse team there, and really that was a beautiful 12 darter. Absolutely massive. Decker and Johansson, they didn't do much wrong. They had a little bit of a slowdown towards the tail end of that leg, but that's me being nitpicky. That was just a massive shot. You can't always count on that happening. And they have a short memory, as you see with the 156 in there from Decker. Johansson needs to get in on the start. Does do so. His partner hit a big end, so you're just going to be on support duty. You're going to be just playing second fiddle to Decker. That's okay. Same thing here for Smarlin, unless he hits a big end of his own. Well, still a very good opening. Putting some immediate pressure on. Decker's going to try to do what Juan Lopez did. Hit a beautiful 12 dart leg. It's 140 there, which is perfectly fine. Again, he was aiming to finish within 12, so he has 6 starts left in his mind. 205 is a good position to be in if you're in that spot. You can see that separation. The A score lines continues. Johansson, the X factor, needs to focus on this. This is a big turn. And there's a huge opening starting to develop because 205 is not on a finish. All of a sudden, if Smarlin hits a big shot, there's going to be some serious freezing pressure. He needs to find a 100 here to put pressure, 140 to put even more. Good recovery. Combined 554 for the other team. Which means the freeze can absolutely come into play here, despite the fact that Decker's sitting on trying to set up a 12 dart leg, currently sitting at an 11 dart leg on his return. Trip 10 for double 18, considering he loves that double 18. And a 135 is a massive shot. The pressure is absolutely on. Johansson needs perfection, or else Decker and Johansson might be staying in third place forever. This is a big one. Finds a 180 out of left field. The bailout shot is on. Needs to get to 82 or less, which means that the shot was saved there. That was a massive from Johansson. Needed to find that maximum. There was nothing that Smarlin could have done to stop the freeze. So 66 now gets a chance. Double Decker. Trip 10, double 18. Double 18. It's his favorite double. He expected to go outside on the first. Does nail it. We're going to a last league decider. That was Johansson put them in danger and immediately took them out of it. That's a dangerous way to be living in this bracket. Native American on the comment section there on YouTube saying, "What's up, Nick? Are you in Europe for this?" No, I am remote again this year. Oh, that was the wrong button. And you can tell because the controls aren't as tight as we normally run it. That was to the drink table. That was not, I was trying to hit the diddle button. That's a terrible way to word it. I am just doing it great over here, aren't I? There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Ignore the poor camera controls there from the Floridian man. As now Decker and Johansson, the North team, will get the start here. So this is a big moment. That 161 shot from Martinez Caceres in that very first game was electric. The 180 there from Johansson was needed. That's a solid opening there. Finds 116 on the end. Yeah, Carrie Ann Johnson. We got Mia, Annette, Gier, Leestein, Nacho. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Beautiful 160 on the end. Finds perfection. Good way to follow the 116 going second. Gains a little bit of ground. Johansson once again, bare minimum on his end. Thor has been struggling to put down the hammer and find some consistency in between his turns. And Swartland fine there with his 72. Wanted to find a little bit more, but Decker, he's a man on a mission. Most consistent player on the board right now. Martinez, this would be massive if he can find another big shot. Of course, he's fishing for a 180. Finds the first trip. Not that one on the second, though. Or the third. He knew he needed 3 trips in that turn. Not those 3 trips, though. 4 darts end of perfection. Good supporting run from Johansson. This is absolute danger zone now for the Spaniards. $135 does leave a finish, keeps the Spaniards' dreams alive, considering that Decker is only at a 105. You kind of expected him to be a little bit lower, just given how well he's been playing. A little bit of danger. Right now, Smartland needs to make sure to hit at least 100 here. If he hits a 100, guarantees that the freeze can't happen. Have to hit at least 100, though. That's a little sketchier. 19 points, so 18 or less, which means 105 realistically could freeze here. And it does freeze here. 158 combined. Smartland needed to hit that single 20 in the last dart. 140 doesn't even have a chance to go. You can see the frustrations as they just realize it. And if that makes it any better, at least you didn't hit the second trip to be on for the finish. Still a little bit of danger here, as there's a very small turn. I don't know why Juan Lopez didn't bring it lower. Makes it a little bit harder here for Smartland to freeze. Needs to get below 160 or 163 or less. Single 20. Pulse aside, you had to hit at least a single 20. That's the second time Smartland's done that in this leg. Absolute disbelief on that third dart. Both times just needed to stay true. Oh, the flight slapped. You can see Decker frustrated. Oh, Axel bumped a single 15. So just going to fix that real quick. But 178 means this 40 can go. What is happening at the end of this match? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Martinez and Caceres, Lopez and Palacio somehow get through despite Smartland making some mistakes. You saw a mistake there from Juan Lopez as he stayed at 40. There was so many different things that went wrong there towards the end. And Decker and Johansson are going to be exiting. And Decker, his biggest fault there was just missing the double. Can't fault it. Does happen like that sometimes. But coming up next is our final here of our Pro 501 doubles bracket. Don't go far, folks. My name is XXXI, bringing coverage of this one from Florida. Unfortunately, they didn't bring me up to Spain. They ain't ready for me out there yet. We'll be back in just a moment's time with more action. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the finals here for BullShooter Europe 2025 Pro 501 Doubles Bracket. We got a great match in front of you here. This is going to be exactly what you expected to see, or maybe not, because there was some crazy legs that led to this moment. It is going to be Martinez Caceres and Lopez Palacio taking on Armani and Zapata in this matchup here. Let's see who will reign on top. It's going to go back to that best of 5 format. Will the seat holders hold, or will it go the full distance? Who knows? But I'm still excited to be bringing you the coverage here regardless. And I'm making sure I'll be on the call for this one. I see some friends in the chat here. Stein, Eric, Mia, Tyler, Yolanda. Appreciate every one of you tuning in, and many, many more across our different platforms here. Our final match of this pro bracket. We're going to try our best to take a look at some of those other brackets and kind of see where they're at in the action here. But more than likely, we are going to take a break before that national teams events. Currently, right now, the third place match is playing in the Masters bracket, division right below this one. If timing works out, we'll try to get that Masters final as well. Now, Armani and Zapata did do a good job of getting that win in the finals, or in the king seat to get to the finals, excuse me. You're going to want to replicate that performance. And Martinez, Caceres, and Lopez Palacio know that they kind of got away with one, right? They know that what happened in that last match was a little bit of a favor being tossed their way. They can't afford to make the same errors into this matchup. And I think they know that. Let's see if they're able to perform like that as well, though. Seeing some waving back over there online. Hope you guys are enjoying watching in person, and if not, watching online here with us as well. Guillermo asking who is the king seats in the Masters bracket. The seat holders in the Masters bracket is going to be Jesus Angel Sanz Martinez and Jose No Aranas Martin in that seat match. If I butcher those names, I apologize. In that third place match there of the Masters bracket, there's currently Daniel Morelli, Quintans, and Sergey Lopez Montesinos. If I mispronounced that, you should expect that as well. And going up against Felipe Delhav and Thomas Deckliff in that third place match of the Masters brackets. David, yes, that is correct. Decker did get knocked out. Decker and Johansson got knocked out in a last leg decider and an absolute heartbreaker by Juan Lopez and Smarlin. Lester gets away. He's been having a lot of third dart trouble, Smarlin is. I need to do a little bit of course correction with that. Juan Lopez now trying to go ahead and give himself to a finish. We're seeing shenanigans in the background. People smiling, laughing on the phone with family and friends, watching these great darts and these darts players. Zapata needed that last start to go to put a little bit more pressure, but 85 ahead of the 117, but going second position. Very interesting race in this first leg here. Smarlin finds the first 20. And the second. Is he just going to stay? Is he moving to... Yeah, he stays. Great stay. The points right at the audience. Leaves 26 and puts a lot of pressure. The 180 isn't hit here by Armani. The freeze will be on for the 85, and leg number 1 should be going the way of the team going first. And even a trip here won't be enough unless the 117 bus, which is very unlikely, just by the route you would typically go to shoot at it. Look at that check out there. Martinez Caceres does get that first leg on the board. Armani and Zapata will have to try to hold their throw in the next to make this a chalk matchup. This is a good one so far, folks. Oh, how about a 160 in? Despite the both 8 players struggling to get in, Armani hits a big bailout there. Great save. Puts pressure on Smartland to do the same now. This is a very pressure position. Finds a double 16. Needs to find at least one treble as well. Good marker. Should be able to walk into that 20. Does do so. Not as flashy as the 160, but it's enough to keep him in range. Unless, of course, Armani hits the 9. Still struggling to get in. Zapata can't believe it. Notable for last year in this European Championship for his big finishes. Usually also means that he can get in pretty big as well, and just unfortunately not working for him in this given moment. Can't afford to go 2-0 down, so you got to just keep running if you're Armani. A good 100 scored there. Such an interesting dichotomy in this matchup right now. Zapata needs to find a big end. Finds the double 20 finally after 6 darts missed. And he's wasting no time getting back in. Finds a 120. But Martinez Caceres here just needs to focus on not having a weak turn. That's going to be your main goal in this moment. Use your strong arm. There has a weak turn. All of a sudden, that 6 darts missed at the end is not punished whatsoever. In fact, the advantage goes back to the team going first. Armani continuing to lead the pack. Shooting here. Doesn't leave a finish, so leaves an opportunity here for Smartland to go ahead and try to pull out in front. Oh, and Zapata there only 60. Again, still struggling to find the consistency in his game that we're so used to seeing out of him. You can see Decker in the background. He's having a conversation, talking about these opponents, talking about how he wishes he was playing in this final right now, saying these guys didn't do that against us. Oh, and left and right. Play for the bull here guarantees a finish at least. Went to the 18s, risky because he had to trip. Does find it. But Zapata does recover there, hits a 180 to leave the 141. If we didn't know any better, I'd say he's on a 9. Juan Lopez, he is well off, and you can see the frustrations. He knows that the freeze is absolutely on now. 131 doesn't even have to go. You can see a little bit of finalitis. I'm not sure what's going on here, but the energy between these players has changed. 129 cannot go, can only get brought down and set up. $60 points on the turn. The only thing that would have worked here is a 180 getting hit to leave the 160, checking out in 6 darts. There should be one apiece in this matchup. Armani gets an opportunity now at 67. $18 or 10 to leave double top. Taking a moment. He loves to step off the line and really kind of amp himself up in moments like this. My heart would be racing if I did that. Does take it. It's 1-1. He's so good about doing that too. Again, it's so hard to step off the line, be able to get settled into place. Martinez Caceres going to go ahead and get the start here. Finds 100 on the end. Again, 1 double, 1 triple is really good open. At least a double and 2 good singles is perfectly fine open. Especially when you're going first. And it's got to be hard, right? I mean, I would have to imagine, maybe it's a little different in Europe. But over here in the States, yeah, people will sometimes hang out for finals, but it depends on when and where it is. Sometimes you have crowds like this. Sometimes everyone's dispersed, getting all ready for the next rounds, the next events, the next matches. So right now, you actually have a pretty sizable crowd behind you, all just watching this matchup. It adds to the pressure of the moment, even just a little bit. Even if you're used to it, you're still aware of the people that are right behind you. He looks over to the side as if something's bothering him, but I think that's just how he likes to play. He hits a dart and he likes to resettle himself. He doesn't want to throw too fast in rhythm. Tough life to live, one I couldn't do. How about that? The most dramatic 160 in of my life, I think. 1 dart at a time, but still was able to go ahead and hit the big shot. Get out in front of the group. No dramatic step off here. Finds the 140. Guillermo saying he does always play like this, so yeah, I kind of had a feeling just based off what we saw earlier out of him as well. It's just so hard to do that. Usually rhythm helps with a lot of players more than it hurts. Oh, but look at that. Zapata finds a max on the 180 there. Beautiful, beautiful darts. Those A score lines are chalk, and Smarlin's going to be having some pressure put on him to not fall behind. Needs to find a trip, has no time to be able to be frustrated by it. And again, you saw that massive reaction on at dart number 2. He kind of moved his head, looked frustrated, and then kind of threw right into the dart. Settling yourself into place before throwing makes up a big difference there. No 9 darter is going to get hit today. At least not yet. Oh, and this is going to be a massive opening now. I say massive. It's not actually a massive opening, but it could have been a big step on the gas moment here. A big ton plus all of a sudden puts the freeze into likely ranges. Instead, it's the bare minimum, it feels like, with 66 on the turn, and makes this a little bit more lively for the team going first right now. Oh, look at this. Juan Lopez finds a 125 there. Thought that was going to be more. You saw the hesitation in my own voice, but still leaves 136. Zapata trying to follow his big shot from the last go. Also very well with the 140. 102 significantly easier than the 136 on the check. Smarlin, can he find another trip 20? He can't. 95, it's a solid turn. But again, another opportunity for Armani. If he hits our mini of them on the 20s, then all of a sudden it is a little bit of danger for the freeze coming into play. Needs to get this start settled into place. Oh, it's a solid correction. $292. Is this frozen? Yeah, it is frozen by 1 point. Look at that look of frustration there. Going first, had the dart at a double and doesn't get the opportunity to shoot it. 102 gets an opportunity. 10-6 wire. Down to the 2 for the double top. Doesn't go on the last dart. So now 293 needs to leave a finish here for Smarlin. That 140 is massive. Doesn't make a difference. Needs to get to 112. Needs to find a trip on this last. 57 would suffice if you feel like you're blocked. $57 or 60. Finds it on the last. What a magnificent dart there. Telling him to hit the button for 2. Daniel Zapata now has a chance to make this 2-1 in advantage of the seed holders. And there it is. Now, can they break the throw again, or will they have to rely on a diddle to have the going first advantage? That's the question now in Armani and Zapata's minds. Martinez Caceres getting the start in this leg. $80 on the end. Again, we say 80 or more, give or take. A double and 2 good singles is what the target line is, especially going first. The target line is going to get surpassed. Daniel Zapata finds a 120 on the end. Gains a little bit of ground early. Smarlin's had up and down moments. Again, last night, other than his actions, Fernando, I thought he played particularly well in that cricket singles. Just falling short at the end. He needs to channel some of that energy, some of that confidence going into this. $72 again, feeling frustrated, shouldn't be frustrated. No, you can do more, but it's a good end nonetheless. Oh, here it is, another one of these dramatic 160s. Hits the double, walks off the line, scratch of the hands, deep breath, visualizing the target. Does this actuate? This time goes low, so he's going to continue his pacing. It seems like he only steps off when it hits more than when it misses. I think that's so insane to me. Well, 120 falls 120. Early advantage going towards the team going second, but not enough to take away the advantage of going first. And that's what you have to kind of think about. Well, actually, here's what you're actually thinking about. If you're in a player in this final right now, it should be none of this. It should be, what do I need to do on this turn? And what does my partner need me to do? And that's the only two things on your mind. You're not caring about match position. You're not caring about how many legs are left, not caring about how much work there's to do. The moment you start thinking about all that, you're either going to let off the gas if you're in front, or you're going to put too much pressure and overexert if you're behind. You just want to take those variables out of your own minds. Try to recenter yourself. Oh, and there's an opening, though. Starting to slip a little bit behind Smarlin. His score lines are tight. Who gets to the first finish? Martinez Caceres says it's going to be him. Leaves a 141. Zapata going to try to hit a 140 to leave the 141 as well. Yeah, it's a good dart, but you were worried about it going over to the other side of the dart, and you saw it kicked right into that trip one. This is starting to look more and more like a last leg decider. It's not locked in yet. One really good turn or one really bad turn can still change it. That's what's crazy about a freeze format, folks. Oh, look at that 180 right there. Although it doesn't freeze this time, and 141 gets an opportunity. And with neither score for Armani or Zapata being on a finish, this is dangerous. Got to focus on setting up the freeze now. 57 to leave 4. I think you go a little bit lower there, but that's fine. He tried to hit a trip on the last, and I even think that they were kind of telling him that right there. But he's going with the momentum of the moment. Spot needs to leave a better finish, though, and that's not it. Almost debatably, a bull on the last start would have helped more. Needs to bring down this 169. Look at the frustration. Can't let it get to you in this moment. Another good dart, and you can guarantee not the freeze. Hit at least 19 points. That's all you needed to do in this given moment. 171's not a finish. You're giving 44 a chance guaranteed. And he knew, and you can see his partner laughing at him, because that last third place match, two different times in that last leg decider, Smarlin needed to hit at least a single in the last start and pulled it. Oh, and this is going to be big despair because 130 might not even get a chance. You need to get to 130 or less. You need to make sure that you can put the freeze into play. I don't like the bull on this last start because the 44 can get brought all the way down to 4 and guarantee the freeze. Not with this route, though. It doesn't matter if you hit it. Dude, it's you going to a last leg decider for this first set. See the hugs and the exchange happening in the background here. Will this be the last leg of this final, or will we be getting another best of five? Armani and Zapata are going to be against the darts. Finds the double immediately, but only a 60 on the end. You can see Zapata kind of is stepping up a little speed at the line. Finds a good 120 on the end. 60 points of separation on the top side. What's the bottom side going to look like? $92 is going to be just fine. Mine needs to find a double. I don't like it when that first starts so far off the double. It makes it hard to find the seconds. He does find it. You might have a little bit of an easier time moving to a different double if you drop your first one. To be fair, though, I'm a guy that doesn't go in on. Yeah. Oh, hello. There we go. Sorry, it looks like I knocked out my mic there for a second. I'm not a guy that goes in on the double 20 unless I feel like I need to press for a 9. That's the only time you'll really see me go double 20. But otherwise, I'm a big believer of going into doubles where you can miss vertically. How about that big shot right there, though? Daniel Zapata finds a 180. This is getting so interesting. This final has had great back and forth between these teams. The chemistry on the board complements each other very well as you get back to back. Now you get one from Smarlin. Good 100, though. This is interesting. Martinez Caceres needs to bring this down into position. He is starting to feel the weight of the world on his shoulders, and the triple is avoiding him. It is avoiding him. He is all over it, but just won't answer the door. Daniel Zapata can be the first one out of finish. You hit the big flashy shot, but this is a big, important setup shot. Oh, and he pulls that last star. If he hit a trip 20 in the last, it would have been massive. It's still huge because you need a 10 plus from Smarlin to feel extra pressure. 100 for 129 is not as clean of a finish as the 125. Oh, that's dead center. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Smarlin hits back-to-back 180s in this final. Excuse me there. I'm losing my voice. Trying to still find an angle on this last dart. How do you find it on the right side of the bed, throwing into those darts? An insane placement to leave the 161. Combined to 286 points. Puts pressure on this 3-2-1 now. That unfreezes. Oh, but needed to find 2 more. This is so dangerous right now. Can Zapata take this now? And if not, can he freeze? 2 trip 20s. There's one. Stay for another. He does stay for another. 165 combined. Freezes the 49 despite back-to-back 180s for Smarlin. He's going to go ahead and get himself all the way down to 4 or 2. Does hit the 45, and you can see the frustration there. He looks at his partner, says, "Hey, I did my job." But this might be all but over. 161 doesn't even have to go. I wouldn't even consider swinging this. I don't think I do that with my partner on 4. I'm going to try to get as low as possible. Just needs to find some big trips. Nearly out of range to guarantee the freeze no matter what. $174. So yeah, it looks like the job is done. Would have needed a 180 there. Would have been the only shot available. Double 2 for the title. Daniel Zapata, can you cross the line? No, he busts. Smarlin just going to hit the button. There's no reason to bring this down to 2. And Armani gets an opportunity now at 64. If this doesn't go, the 138 all of a sudden has a chance. Boy, oh boy, would that be massive. Don't want to come to that point. Trip 16 leaves the double 8. Dramatic look to the side, the deep breath. Armani, what do you got for us? The look at that grin. He thinks this is in. On the wire, stepping off the line. Oh, the drama. You can see everybody. You can see him feeling it. Everyone looking at it. Double 4. Out the door. No, it doesn't go. If 138 goes, I think I'll be able to hear all of Spain from here in my house in Florida. But it won't go. It won't go. So now you have to survive 6 more darts at doubles. Double 2. Zapata still trying to cross that line. Hasn't crossed it yet. Goes outside. What is happening to Daniel Zapata? There's no reason to bring this down because he was frozen. He just decided to take the game out. What? Why did they do that? 8 could have missed. 57 could have gone. Why? What was the point of doing that? Why did he do that? They just lost the final. They're laughing about it, but guys, it was that. 8 could have missed. 57 could have hit. What? There's no reason. There's no benefit to going to 2. Because the lowest opponents can get is 2 and 2. So being at 2 doesn't freeze. Well, there you go. Congratulations to Armani and Zapata for the win there in very, very dramatic fashion. I don't even know what just happened there. Absolutely insane. In disbelief. But hey, Martinez, Caceres, and Lopez Palacio, they did a great job of fighting along, getting to this point. And yeah, that a very anticlimactic finish to this pro doubles bracket. Let's take a look here. I think we're going to be getting the Masters final here. Yeah, so the Masters final is coming up on the dartboard here. That's going to be Jesus Angel Sanz Martinez and Jose No Aranas Martin going up against, and there are your seat holders, going up against Felipe Del Hav and Thomas Decliff. Now, there will be no commentary for that final. It's like they're still going crazy over there. There'll be no commentary for that final, as unfortunately I'm losing my voice. I need to save it for the Nationals team event. We'll get that final on the board. Then the feed will take a break. We will be live roughly around 1:30, 2 o'clock Eastern for the national teams event. So don't go far, folks. I'm making sure bringing coverage of this one, and we will be back in just a little bit.